The program mode is indicated with a P on your mode dial. This is the mode I use most of the time because it really gives me all the flexibility I need, but the camera will still choose the proper aperture and shutter for me. So in the back, you can see that the mode is set to P for program. Now, unlike the auto mode, I have access to ISO and white balance. I can also choose one-shot focusing if I don't want the camera to continuously focus. And I can choose if I want a single drive or continuous drive or the timer mode. But the camera still automatically sets an aperture and shutter for me. When I press the shutter button halfway, the right aperture and shutter speed will be chosen for me in order to capture a well-exposed picture. I also have control over using the flash. To turn the flash on, just press the flash button here and the flash will pop. To turn the flash off, just close the flash. With the flash closed, it will not automatically pop as it would in the automatic mode. If I'm not using the flash, I can press my shutter button halfway to get these values. If I'm not happy with these values, for example, if I want to change the aperture in order to get everything in focus if I'm shooting a landscape, then I can move my index finger to the dial and move the aperture over. It'll automatically compensate by changing the shutter speed simultaneously. If I'm shooting sports and I want to choose a fast shutter speed, then I just do the same thing, move the dial over and choose a faster shutter speed. And then go back to the shutter button before these values disappear, because once they disappear and I press the shutter button again, it'll go back to the original default values the camera thinks are appropriate. The other reason I really like using this mode is because it allows me to choose the focus point. Choosing the focus point is very simple. Just press the autofocus point selector button right here, and you can see in the back that I can change using the dial on the top where my focus point is going to be located. Usually I choose the center option. This is the easiest for me. I'll look through the viewfinder, position that center focusing point over my subject, press the shutter button halfway, it'll blink red and it'll sound a double beep. If I maintain the shutter button pressed halfway, I can then recompose the image without the camera refocusing, and then I'll just press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.